guess I'm not really supposed to discuss it. Oh,
Okay, recording in progress. All right, we're off.
All right,
On.
welcome everyone, assuming there are actually people there somewhere, to the Village of Mamaroneck Board of Architectural Review meeting of October 5th, 2021. Obviously, this is a virtual meeting, so we'll call on the applicants, as they come up on the agenda. I would ask that anybody who is an interested party sign on at the same time so that we don't get into a situation that maybe we're having a discussion and somebody else wants to comment who's there, and then they're trying to get on and they're raising their hand and we don't see it, and then they're upset. So just let's avoid that. And if you're a party, you don't have to say anything, but please sign on when your project's up. That said, there may be interested parties in the audience other than the applicants. I'll try to remember to ask for any questions, but if you do have something to say, please raise your hand or let us know that you wish to comment, and we'll try to get you on. It's a little tricky sometimes here on the Zoom, but we'll do the best we can. That said, I'll introduce the board members that are here. We have the full board: Andrew Bolowitz, Athena Makish, Cindy Lee, and Ivan Levin. And I'm William Binzer. And with that, I guess we can get started. First of all, are there the minutes from the last meeting on September 21st? Has everyone had an opportunity to review them? And
yes.
okay, I assume everyone has, since some of you are
Yeah.
muted. And does anybody have any questions or comments on them?
No.
Okay, then could I get a meeting motion to accept them, please? Second.
I said
Okay, and all in favor?
Yes.
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 Athena, raise your hand or say yes or something. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, they are approved, and we can go on then with the business of tonight's meeting. There's no old business, so we'll start in with the new business. And the first application is 1334 Halsted Avenue.
Can whoever is representing 1334 Halsted raise their hand? There we go. Okay. Let's promote the panelists. Should be good to go. There we go. Okay, Camilo.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
All right.
we can hear
It
you.
was perfect. It was rejoining. How's everybody doing?
Great, thanks.
All right. So this is my first time presenting, so bear with me a little bit, but I know I'm going to share my screen now so we can start looking at the photos, and then I'll go over the project as we go.
Very good.
Sorry, it's my privacy settings are. I have to change that real quickly. Okay. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
After
so
saying you have not backed up your computer for 1,574 days.
yeah, it's been a while. I'm living a risky life right now. So anyway, the project we're proposing, 8 cubic solar panels on the south facing roof of 1334 Halster Avenue. This is the south facing roof. In front of it is 4th, next to it is 4th Street, and then Halstead is on this side right here. So the solar panels, there will be 8 right here. The panels will be on this side of the building. Conduit will run down the side to the meter inside. Then the BOS disconnect will be outside, right over here, next to all the conduit already existing there. It's a simple project, so there's not too many pictures to look at. So for the plans, we have 8 stacked on top of each other, 8, 4, and 4. We follow the fire path correctly as the 1 foot 6 inches or 18 inches of the top of the ridge, and the 3 feet access to the ground access area, which I can show in the pictures as well. So the ground access area, the ground access area will be back here, and the front where it's the most accessible. So it's just pretty standard. We're using a QPeak 320 watts. The system size is 2.56 kilowatts. And that's, oh yeah, we're using iron ridge racking to hold them. That's pretty much it. Any questions?
This is a 2-family residence or one?
Correct.
2, okay.
Yes, it's 2-family residence.
Okay.
Are the panels for both units or just for the south unit?
The panels will be connected to one house. So in the 3-line diagram, we see it runs into this account number, this meter.
Mhm.
And is that, I don't know how the building is laid out. Is that apartment on the south side? Or the west side or the east side?
I don't know how the apartment's laid out either, to be honest, but the meters are located in the same area. And same thing. So that's where we're putting the BOS on the left side of the property, so it can be close to the meters.
Mhm.
I guess I was just wondering if it was precluding, the other unit having solar panels.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, that if the other apartment wants to have them, I mean, the location would be better to move them a little bit and leave room for the other unit. I don't know. Just a question that just pop up.
I'm gonna guess that it's that the owner of the property lives in 1 floor.
Correct.
They are investing in the panels for their apartment, and this is maxing out their electric usage because they can't go beyond their estimated usage. And they are not
Correct.
investing in the rental property.
And I guess it's a good guess, and it's also, I hadn't thought of it, but of course they could be on the 1st and 2nd floors.
Yes.
Yeah, most of these properties are 1st and 2nd floor, and
Yeah.
the owner either rents out or or just keeps both floors, but that's why this is a pretty low amount of panels for this property, so it's not a very high energy use.
Yeah,
And they're just not investing in the rental property because that tenant's going to pay for their own electricity.
Well, that's a guess, but you're
Yes.
probably right that it's a single owner and the other one's rented out in any event. Whether or not he lives in it.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, any other questions or comments? Anything from the audience, Barbara?
No.
Okay. Can I get a motion to vote?
Motion here.
okay. Which one?
I am always fast. I motion to vote yes.
Okay, I second.
Okay. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I think everybody said yes.
Mhm.
I have Athena is both muted and not on video right now, so.
Oops,
Yeah. Oh,
sorry,
Okay.
I didn't realize it was off, but I
Okay.
had, I said yes.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, very good. You're good to go then, Camilo. Thank you.
thank you.
And let's see, the next one up is 411 Wagner Avenue.
And whoever's here for 411, raise your hand. Okay, Michael. Vote to panelists. Didn't take. Did it take? There he is.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
hear you.
Yes.
Right. Here we
Okay.
go. Let me just share my screen now. Doing. Okay, here we go. So we are proposing a 10.4 kW system composed of 32 panels. That'll be 12 on the front of the home. That's roof section 3 on the plans, 18 towards the back left, and 2 on the back right. This is the view if you were standing in front on the sidewalk. And this is just a little farther off of the same home, just from about the middle of the street. This is the actual design. Roof section 3 is towards the front of the house. That's the 12 panels here, south facing. And then we have an additional 18 on this array, and then 2 on this smaller array here. From you can see, this is the left side of the home. That view from, I guess, the across the street neighbors and next door neighbor. And then this would be the view from the right side of the home. As you can tell, these are the 325 watt modules that we will be using. They're kind of, they're black on black with a white trimming and a white backsheet. These are the specs. This is where we're proposing we put our safety switch next to the meter here. The X's I kind of put there earlier as I was talking to my design team because due to electrical code, we can't mount the inverters underneath the windows. So there's a streak of windows here that span across the side. So we're proposing to put the inverter next to the garage door opener and run conduit underneath this lip that's here, kind of hiding it away from sight. And that is all.
Okay. Now, couple things on the materials, at least that we had to look at prior to the meeting. You had not, there were no pictures or anything that kind of showed where they went other than the plans, which are out of context. And the only picture, do you have the your cover page there on your screen, the site plan of the application?
Oh, sure, yeah.
You put that up a second, the one that shows the little satellite view.
Let's me share a different.
I have a
screen.
reason I want you to put it up.
Yeah, it's best if you just share your desktop and then you can go from app to app without having a, all right.
I see.
Okay, so go to page 1 there.
Where's the desktop?
No, you're good.
You're good, just slide up to page 1.
on.
Okay, so here's page
Okay,
one.
Now look at the picture over there in the lower left-hand corner.
Yep.
That's 425.
Oh,
Yeah, it was confusing.
I see.
So,
That's a
so
mistake.
took me a long time, since that was the only picture you had, to figure out how these panels were fitting. It would have been helpful to have had the pictures and all ahead of time. You
Mhm.
know, that said, I figured it out and I understand it, but that's the wrong picture.
Yeah, totally. Okay, yeah, good eye, because I did not notice that myself.
Well, it's only a good eye, because like I said, I was looking at the plans and trying to match them up with the roof and.
Yeah,
match
yeah.
up.
Yeah, I went through the same process. But Mike, could you put the photo of the house, the front and this from the sides?
Sure.
So now, yeah, please.
I'll go back to this one. And okay, so front of the house.
That's
this
the
is
front. Okay, and that's, let me see now.
And
That
then
would
So,
be
maybe
where-
okay,
have
the
the picture,
panels.
maybe now
Yeah.
point with your pointer where
Sure.
the panels go.
So here is the front of the house. This is where the
Okay.
12 panels in the rectangle shape
Yeah.
would go. And
Mhm.
then
Got it.
kind of like this particular array.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then the back array is kind of on a different altitude than the front one. So it's very, it's kind of
Yeah.
tucked away. So you can't really tell that, what's up there.
Yeah, it's hardly visible. Right. Okay. I mean, at least from
And
the
then the other
street.
two are on that little eave on the right side there.
Right. So there's
Yeah.
two that's going to be over here.
the back.
And on
Yeah.
the back. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So one quick question.
Sure.
I would assume that the one in the back, those how many are they?
There's,
Not the front. Yeah. Right. I was wondering that those two couldn't be included in there, right? You didn't have room.
Sure, like right in here somewhere.
Uh-huh.
We might have some conflicting space issues
Yeah,
over here,
yeah,
but we
could
might
be.
be able to fit one and just scrap the other. That's definitely a possibility.
Oh, are you saying eliminating one and just put it-
Eliminating one and adding
And have
an
another
additional
one.
to this
Oh,
array. here.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Just write that down.
That sounds good.
And it doesn't particularly bother me them being on the right, but that would be, I would think, a better arrangement for you if you had them all together.
If I may, this is Assistant Building Inspector Dennis Drogan. Hello.
Hello?
What is the width of the driveway?
The width of the driveway, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I would say that driveway is probably about 6 to 7 feet wide.
Okay, so keeping that picture on, right? You're proposing to put all of the equipment to the right of that electric meter, right?
So yes, so going down to this, so safety switch would go next to the utility meter per NEC code, and also per well, most of our building codes that we usually go by, inverters can't be placed underneath or above window sills. So which is why we want to put the inverter over here next to the garage door, which kind of gives us that space that we want and still be within 50 feet of the utility meter.
Okay, and there, that makes it convenient for you to run it straight up to the roof.
Yeah, so from here, those two arrays that are just above, we would combine everything up top and run it down to the inverter. right here. And then from the inverter, we would go into the safety switch and then into the home.
Okay, so on the proposed height, if you're to go to the right of that electric meter, what will be your elevations of your devices? One, and then two,
Sure.
have you gone through the National Electrical Code for those elevations and heights? So it looks like it's 5
So
feet.
yeah, we would usually go by the standard NEC code for this particular type of inverter, which is no more than 3 feet and low or higher than 5.5 to 6 feet high. So in between that is where we like to keep that inverter.
Okay, so you would be about 6 feet to the top of the box, if not slightly more, to be underneath those windows.
So for here, this is our inverter. We would be just a little bit below there. The inverter's not too big and our electrician is not that tall. So he would place it in between 3 feet and 6 feet, not higher than 6.
Okay, so my concern is everything to the left of that. So from the electric meter underneath those windows, those elevations.
Yep.
So, that, and then, you
So-
want to be above where the door is. Yes. I
So
mean,
So this is our safety switch here.
Mhm.
And we're gonna keep it at the same altitude as the utility meter, and that's about 5 feet high.
Oops.
Do we
Can you
lose
guys hear me?
Dennis?
We lost him.
No, I think he's,
Can't hear Dennis.
Oh,
All right, so, when you're getting your electrical inspection at the end, the idea is that you pass your electrical inspection. So your elevations are important, and then the door clearances that clearly you're
Mhm.
okay at that height for the door impact. But just make sure with the NEC that you are not too high on the one that's the furthest to the left. So you're in a good place. So the
Yep.
one on that last window near the lattice.
Yep.
Not the inverter. I'm not worried about the inverter.
This one here,
Yeah,
boom, here.
yeah.
So this is our safety switch. Yep.
Yeah, so I think you'll be fine. And you can't put the inverter around the corner in front, right? There's another
Around,
window.
yeah,
Right.
another window and a door,
Okay.
and
Well,
then
not
another tiny little window here, which,
in the front of the house.
so the front of the house, I did not propose to put it in the front of the house, being that this is an ARB meeting and aesthetics is pretty much everything. So I kind of, in my head, rule that out, being that, we want to keep minimal vision to the equipment from the front of the house as possible.
Okay, so as long as you're under the 50-foot linear feet, then you're fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
About the panels in the front, which are right over the front door? Is there any kind of slide protection?
Yes. So on every single system that we install, we put what we call a skirt, and it's kind of does a dual purpose of snow guard and hide visibility for underneath the system.
Okay.
Kind of gives it a sleeker look, so it looks like it's flush against the roof, but it's really not.
Good question. Any further questions? Anyone in the audience, Barbara?
no,
Okay, motion to vote.
A motion.
a second.
Yeah, and I support it.
Okay, I'm good. And
Mhm.
so-
yes.
very good.
Yes.
Okay, very good then. Thank you.
All right, thank you all. Thanks, Inspector.
And you might want
Thank
to fix that site plan.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This is the second mistake I've catched this week at an ARB meeting. The last one I went to last week, the streets were mislabeled. So
Yeah.
I have a few people to talk to.
Yeah, one of these times you're like, going to be installing things in the wrong house. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
All right. Thank you so much.
sure.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, so 1415 Shadow Lane.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Well,
Sorry about that. I don't know what the delay was. Okay.
if you could introduce yourself for the.
Hi, I'm John Nogin. I'm the architects for the Messinas. We are looking to do a rear yard addition with a covered porch in the back, and on the side, we have a side entry with a small covered entrance. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Okay, can you guys see the site plan?
Yes.
Streets up top, backyards on the bottom. The addition is single-story additions in here with the covered patio extending off the back, off the kitchen area. The side entrance with a covered portico, and then we have a little second floor bathroom up top. The building's currently 3322 square feet, and in the end, it's going to be 3950. Let me just show you some pictures. We have the front elevation, which all the materials are going to match. A few years ago, we added a little portico cover here. So this is the language for everything on the addition. Standing seam roof, an architectural asphalt roof, a Maybach siding, and all the colors of the match. Quickly looking, we have the left side. Over here, we'll have the side entrance. In the bottom here, we are building in here, a single story in here, and a little bit of an extension in here. Again, we have the side entrance. Same thing with the back. We have filling in the sort of the center portion, and off this line, we are extending the covered patio. This roof all remains. This roof remains, and our main work is sort of in this vicinity. Let's go to the elevations. Front elevation, not much. We're making this window a little shorter, and this roof gets a little bit taller because of how it works with the side entrance. The right side, really
Excuse
not
me,
much.
John, we're just on that elevation. That roof will be a continuation of the same
Yes.
thing,
That's exactly.
not setback or anything. Okay.
No. The right side, again, not much happens. This whole profile is staying, and in the distance, you see the covered porch, covered patio, and the family room addition. But all this other stuff remains. This is the left side entrance. So this is where that little bit of roof extends. There's a bathroom, the new bathroom beyond. A little bit of a covered entrance with the standing seam to match the front. Kitchen area, and then off the kitchen is our extension, which telescopes down for the extension for the covered patio. In the rear, whole bunch of windows change, but big picture is this is our addition. This is now the family room, which is the old kitchen. The new kitchen is on the side here and it extends out. It's beyond the covered patio, a little bit of extra roof and the side entrance. And then our little bathroom up here for this bedroom up here. Again, the materials are all a match. This is going to be the dark blue. It's going to be an AZAC or a Versatex trim that's white. The metal roof, standing seam roof, is going to match front. And that's big picture. I don't know if you want me to go into the plans.
No, other than to point out that you labeled the basement as the second floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
noticed that
yeah.
too.
Took me
I believe it.
surprisingly long
You are good.
time to
I tell you,
figure
you're
out.
on a roll today.
Yeah, I saw that right away too.
Yes.
I didn't understand.
Yeah,
So let me back out a little bit. There we go.
So that's, so just to think about that. So there's window wells there. Is that right?
That's correct. We are doing a
Mhm.
full basement, which has that's an egress window for that bedroom that's downstairs. We also want light to go into there. On the back portion, there's another window well here.
Mhm.
Goes into, I guess it's going to be a future playroom,
Right.
or it could be whatever it wants. But it'll be finished underneath. So that'll give light and egress for that room, and this is for the bedroom egress.
Mhm. I have a comment. It's just also because it was a little confusing. We realized about the labeling of the plans, but when you submitted the PDFs, somebody forgot to freeze the text rectangles. So it's very confusing when you look at the PDF. Of course, here I don't see it. So it was probably frozen when they generated the PDF. So it's just for us, I mean, it's a little more complicated because you're looking at, is this you know what I'm saying? And it's a rectangle around the text. That's all. It's just a minor comment.
it was hard to read your plans. For one thing, you don't have before and after. They're all sort of blend together, and there's no real easy way to see what's before and what's after. So it's hard to figure out.
Yeah, I
Could have
had
been
It's a complicated
clearer.
project.
one area I was interested in looking at it again. It was the one where you're constructing the kitchen's going to be. You're changing the whole roof there, right? It's a whole new roof, and then you come with the
Yes.
porch or cover patio,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah, we're extending
right.
it a little bit and down, and that becomes that
Uh-huh.
part of the entrance.
Yeah. That I got. But then, yeah, when you look at the same elevation, the left elevation, you have 3 skylights there by the kitchen. All that is on your roof.
This is
Correct?
all new. We are
Yeah.
taking down a portion of an
Gotcha.
existing family room and
Yeah.
putting the kitchen in there because it's on slab. And we're going to do a full basement below. And yes, this is all kitchen.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Could you go back to the basement plan? Because I kind of missed these window wells, to be honest with you.
Window well here for the guest bedroom and window well for the playroom.
So those are for egress.
That's correct.
May make a remark. This is Assistant Building Inspector Dennis Strogan. How deep are the wells going to be?
They are going to be, the bottom of the window is going to be at 42, and it'll be 6 inches below that. Oh, you mean how deep? Do you mean the bottom of it, or do you mean if you need a ladder to climb out?
So you're going to need a ladder to climb out.
Yes.
But the rails that are going to go around, do you have any renderings of the handrails?
Yeah, in the drawing set that was submitted, there are details of an aluminum gate that would be on top, so it'd be flush. It's a grate that has an operable door.
Okay, so do you have a rendering for the board to view?
There's no railings to look at. You're looking at what you're going to see when you look at the elevations. There will be a grate in here. That's aluminum that prevents people from falling down into it. that is operable for egress.
Sorry, my misunderstanding. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
We're gonna leave it to the building department and you as an architect to make sure that the egress meets code. But other than that, obviously, looks fine. Okay, any other questions or comments?
No.
All right, any audience participation, Barbara?
No,
Okay, motion to vote. Andrew, second. Not all at once.
Oh, I second.
Thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Athena?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm good. All right, very good then.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's interesting, we have two here that are on the border of Rye.
Right.
The next one is two, just one house in. Okay, 22 Lake Road. I'm going to step away for a second while it gets set.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Whenever you're ready. I'm George Bartholomew, the architect for the Hirschbergs at 22 Lake Road. If you want, I will share my screen whenever you're ready.
I think you could start sharing, but didn't Bill say he stepped away for a sec?
yes.
But you
Mhm.
can
Well,
still start sharing.
Yeah, so why don't you get your screen up and just,
Yeah.
Ready,
because it
set,
takes a while.
go.
may I ask you a question before you start presenting?
Yes.
I see there's two other people who signed in. I assume Diane Hirschberg is the client,
Yes.
and then there's another person there?
Uh, it might be my coworker if it's.
It says,
DC,
say knee?
Yes. Yes.
I had asked everybody to sign in all at once.
No, yeah, but just to identify who's on the screen with us. Thank you.
okay, George.
Okay, so we're doing a small addition at 22 Lake Road. I'll go to the zoning plan. So we're extending the entry and we're doing a addition to the kitchen. I could show you. We're adding about a total of 150 square feet on the first floor. And we're actually subtracting about 125 feet from the second floor where we're going to make a outdoor porch. It's also important that we're not changing the existing roof line whatsoever. Everything's falling under the. So this is the front of the house. We're keeping. You can see there's a large setback where the entry is. We want to make a more prominent entry, so we're pulling the front wall forward, as you can see in the rendering. So That's happening in the front. On the side, we're actually filling in, it's a modern house. You can see there's these two voids, which one is we're going to increase the size of the kitchen, and then to straighten out the wall, we're going to add a little space in the garage. Basically, this wall will then be flush. And this is the second floor porch, which we're actually proposing. This would be a covered, again, the roof line would stay the same, and this would become a covered porch. So we're basically pushing that wall back. I want to say about 10 feet. So I could. So this is the area of the kitchen. This is the area of the first floor entry extension, and then again in the garage, we're basically just straightening this wall. And on the second floor, this is the area. It had a large master bedroom, so this is the area of the screened-in porch that we're basically just subtracting slightly. So technically, the house is only really getting 25 square feet larger, and the existing roof line would be staying exactly as it is now.
Would you mind just going to like 33% or 40% just to make it just a little bit bigger?
Sure.
Yeah. Is that okay for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a little small.
That's good.
These are, this flip through the building set, these are the elevations. Back elevation you can see. There's also, we're trying to make a more prominent entry, so there would be a small canopy over the front door. I can go through.
What is it made out of? Wood or?
It's wood. We're going to reface with. We're looking at hardy board siding. It would be the same language, and we haven't decided, but probably. I don't know if Diane, you want to comment on the color. I think we're looking to keep it similar.
Hi, it's Diane Hirschberg. I'm the homeowner. Yeah, we're looking at actually very dark blue or dark gray, and we probably would do the trim in the same color or perhaps a slightly contrasting color, same color family. Just give it a refresh, and we also probably will do some change the roof, and we know for a fact that we need to change the gutters. So I don't think it's going to change the look of the roof of the gutters, but we had some problems during Ida in terms of leaking. So
but just the roof material, the roof line, like I said, is going to stay exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good view. Really explains the canopy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it cleans it up a little bit. Yeah, it looks better.
yeah, it's a modern house. We're trying to keep the language the same. We're trying to keep the look. Really, the main design feature is to make the entrance a little bit more prominent and welcoming. Right now.
Yeah, you
I
don't
like that.
quite know where it is right now. Yeah, kind of confusing.
And is there anything else specifically you'd like me to discuss, or we could do questions?
On the finishes, you're changing all of the siding, not just the new parts, right?
Yes, all the siding. Correct, Diane. All the siding would change to match. We're not.
It'll be hardy
It will
plank,
be new.
vertical
Yeah.
hardy plank, blue or dark gray.
yeah, blue. We actually may do it horizontal. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I think we actually had a plan at one point that showed that, and it looked a little bit better. So
the rendering starts to give the idea. It doesn't. It's hard to see, but
it's hard to see it. Yeah.
we tried to portray the horizontal.
Right.
Well, when you say dark blue, does that mean like a navy blue, a
It
slate?
would be, yeah. So the hardy plank comes in pre like existing colors. They're dark blue.
Right.
We actually got samples since we made this presentation. So it's like a blue gray. So the dark blue is, it's blue, but it's really, to some eyes, it could be gray, you know, it just
Right.
depends on lighting. So the dark blue is very close to a dark gray, and we may go to the dark gray. The blue may be like a little bit too funky for our neighborhood with all the Tudors and sort of.
That's why I'm asking.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, it's a very good question. We've been kind of going back and forth on that.
Is this the blue?
So this is a lighter blue. So they have about 3 or 4 different color blues. Should go get the samples. You can show it to them.
Sample.
Yeah, so their darkest blue is definitely a blue gray, and this one is I believe this is the gray color that we would be probably looking at.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Yes, and George, you should show them the picture of our new deck so that they can sort of see the new deck with the dark gray, or kind of envision it.
So the gray is already the gray that it would be.
No, so the deck actually right now is it's a new ePay deck. So that's our old deck.
Okay.
That's our neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Our new deck is ePay, and we just installed it. We're at the final approvals. It will actually silver, it will get gray, just like any natural wood that is outside will. So I think it will look very nice with a dark gray.
What is in your deck? We haven't seen it.
Do I have, Diane, do you want to?
Oh, you know, I can show you the pictures. You didn't send them the new pictures?
Hmm.
Let me see.
We haven't seen.
Send them to me right now. I could get them on the screen. I could try.
All right, hang on 1 second.
All right, let's look at the old deck for a second so we can have a reference point.
Yeah.
All right, so this is, it doesn't look like this anymore, or?
It does not look like that anymore.
Okay.
Ah, we haven't
kind
seen
of-
it then.
No.
Yeah.
I can show you in the
You know what, I'm just gonna pull them up on my phone and send them to George, and then he will be able to share them with you.
But Diane, right, this is the new shape. If you look at the plans.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the shape of the new deck. So it doesn't stick out as far. It actually, it hugs the width of the house, and it is away from the water from what it was before.
I didn't realize that. I was trying to figure out where that helix was and how this deck worked.
Right.
We didn't see this project before, the deck as a deck?
Yes, the deck.
Oh,
See-
yeah.
Oh, we did. Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
absolutely,
Yeah,
right.
now I remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I remember we've seen the deck edition, right? But it's not, yeah, you didn't show it now.
I
in this
always need to
presentation.
have my memory jogged.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second. My pictures are just not coming up. I don't know why.
Hmm.
My phone.
Well,
Well, maybe,
yeah, I mean, we already approved it.
yeah.
Right,
So
right.
it's really, just for a matter of,
No, we just wanted to see the colors. You're saying everything is going to match that, right?
Well, so
Diane?
yes, so the deck right now, because it's a natural wood, it's epay is dark because it's new and we put an oil on it. So the colors will not match exactly like the previous, our current house or previous house, everything matched. And the dark gray will contrast more with the deck as opposed to match it precisely. So
I think you're saying, if I understand correctly, that the decking material, the part you walk on is new, but the siding material is not installed yet.
That's correct. The siding probably would be the last component, we
Right.
believe, of our project. So possibly by the time we install the siding, let's say maybe it takes a year, I don't know.
So saying the deck would only show us the color of the deck material just to see
Right.
how it
So
goes.
it-
I don't think it's that critical that you knock yourself out to get.
Right, I'm sure.
Yeah. I
We
think-
just
But
thought
it's-
if it was easy enough, it would have been nice to see it.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me see if I can, I'm just trying
Is this-
to,
Is the siding going to be a tongue and groove or a lap, overlap, or how is that going to? You said it's going to be horizontal, right?
yeah, so we have choices on that as well. I mean, the hardy plank gives us lots of different choices in terms of the type of siding.
Mhm.
And we were looking basically at their horizontal, I think it was lap siding, right?
They have lap, cedar shake looking, and vertical board and batten are the three main products they have.
Mhm. So this
So it'll
EPay is
look
going
like
to
fabric
maintain,
with overlap.
Did you send him the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay, so my husband just emailed George the photographs, so,
yeah, we're looking at one.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be kept that kind of color, or I mean, in terms of wood color, and, which is nice.
Yes, this is EPay. It's a total EPay deck. And what happens with any kind of natural wood, even if you put oil or finish on it, it will gray. It will turn gray. So how quickly that will happen, we don't know.
Okay, so we'll just
Yeah.
wear.
Well, that looks nice.
Yes, it looks so much better. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, very
We invite
pretty.
you all over to see it. It's beautiful. We're very happy with it. So,
Yes, it looks really nice. Thank you for sharing that.
oh, no problem. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, I was
yeah.
wondering because now I thought the front door is going to be wood looking, or is also
Yeah.
going to be
So
painted?
once we saw the EPay when it went down on the deck, we're like, well, those would be really nice to use.
Yeah.
Some sort of
Mhm.
EPay or mahogany or a natural type wood on the front
Uh-huh.
door and maybe the garage door. And that will give
I
the
see.
house a little bit of a, the house, the modern houses, when they were constructed back in the 70s and 80s were very monochromatic. And now the style is much more to break it up, to have some, some more chunks of color. I mean, not that this is color, it's just various shades of
Yes.
neutral, but
Yeah.
that's our concept at this point, and we actually like wood. So I think the
Yeah.
hardy plank will look very nice on this house because it gives you a very sharp line. It goes well with a contemporary home.
Okay.
Is there anything else you have questions about the addition?
No, this is just a comment. The porch is going to give you that nice depth there too, and the master bedroom.
I'm sorry, what was the comment?
It was just a comment that the porch, you're opening that, the master bedroom, you're pushing that wall in to create a balcony.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that it will look good. It
Oh,
will give you
thank
the
you.
depth and shadow. Yeah. It will
Yeah.
be looking good.
So anyway, I mean, obviously the finishes will have a big impact on what it looks like if it's, horizontal, lap siding, or if it's vertical board and batten, which doesn't look to me like it would work too well here, or the shakes or the other one they make. I imagine it sounds like you're leaning toward the lap siding, darkish gray color, and then the roof will be different. I mean, that's going to have a big impact on it. more so than the massing, which tends to be in the back anyway. The entrance is nice. You're not changing the roof line.
Mhm.
It's kind of interesting that the things that may have the biggest impact are, down the road a bit.
That's right.
Anyway, anybody have any further comments or questions? Anybody in the audience, Barbara?
Sorry. No, no public.
Okay, and I assume Dennis doesn't have a comment. So, we're, I guess, a motion to vote, and we'll vote on, what we have here, which is, the general architectural massing and so forth. We obviously finish.
Motion.
We can't say. Okay, and
I'll
second,
second.
all in favor?
Yeah. Yes.
Andrew?
Sorry, I was muted. I vote yes.
Okay, very good then. Thank you. And it looks nice.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Nice. Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, and when we're up to 430 Claflin.
Good evening. My name is Maximo Busfras. I'm the architect representing the homeowners at 430 Claflin. Let me see if I can share the screen. How do you share the screen?
Bottom square, green square in the middle.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and share your desktop.
Uh,
So that'll be the top left one.
okay. Can you
And
see the desktop
then you-
now?
Yeah, that's perfect. And you can see I have access to all your stuff.
Perfect, thank you. I'm going to start just showing you a couple of photographs of the house. This is a side view of the house. There is an existing, this is the front of the house. There is an existing sunroom, and I just want to point out to the existing columns and to the frieze detail. In essence, what we are proposing to do is to continue the same details as are currently on the sun porch across the front of the house. Let me show you a picture of the front of the house. This is the front of the house. There is an existing deck which wraps around. The front of the house faces south, and it does get very warm. And I think regardless, the house looks a little bit stark as it is. The proposed porch, which you can see here on the elevation, this is the front view. This is the sunroom that I was pointing at earlier. The proposed porch is going to be completely open. The frieze, the existing frieze is going to be extended. The slope of the roof is going to be matched. There is going to be a small reverse gable with an arch highlighting the front door. So we're pretty much matching all the existing siding, roofing, and columns across. This porch wraps around on the side of the house as well. And I think it's going to add a lot of character to the house. It's going to provide shade, which will be welcomed, in particular along the front elevation, which, as I said, is facing south. And it will add a bit more depth, I think, to the existing elevation, which right now is a little bit flat as it is. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Oh, could you put the front facade photo again, please?
Yes, this is the front. And on the side to the left, you can see part of the existing sunroom, which is going to remain unchanged.
Yeah, no, I mean the photos. Do you have exterior photos?
This is, are you looking at the photograph right now, or?
Oh, no,
No.
no, I'm looking at elevation.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
looking at southeast elevation. Yeah.
You share? There.
Most of the house is obscured. by
There
the
you go.
edge.
Yeah, now we got it.
Photograph
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It will definitely give you. So you're removing all that arch above the door, but removing when you place the, yeah.
Correct. The arch and the brackets. And I don't know if you saw earlier, I showed a close-up photograph of this sunroom.
Mhm.
I can show that photograph again.
Yeah, I don't think we saw any of the photo. I mean, I didn't see any of the photos.
Okay, let me show it again then. Let me,
Okay, yeah,
can you see
Oh,
it?
there you go. Yep.
yes.
Okay, so to a large extent, what we're doing is we're continuing the frieze.
Yeah, that,
We're matching the columns.
sure.
The railing, it's been repurposed, but I think it's going to add some depth to the front. It's going to add some shade, which is going to be welcomed.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And it will be the same roof, the same,
Yes, it's
match-
a low slope
match.
roof, but it is
Yeah.
an asphalt
Yeah.
roof with an
Okay.
steel membrane underneath.
there. Ah, it's going to be asphalt, no asphalt shingle, just asphalt.
Well, it's going to be asphalt shingles, which is what they have right now. It is low slope, and to prevent water from getting in between the asphalt shingles, there is a membrane, an ice and water shield membrane underneath.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions, comments? Okay, I think it looks nice what you're doing. You can't really see this house well from the street because there's a very tall hedge that goes all the way around.
Right.
But it looks nice anyway.
We approved recently a driveway, right, for this home?
No, you approved,
No.
I believe it was last year, you approved an extension of the garage at the rear.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, off
Yes.
the side.
yeah,
Okay.
good memory, Cindy.
Not really, but
You can't really see the house, like I say.
right.
Yeah, after you do this work, you're gonna have to take down some of those hedges so you can see your beautiful work.
I think,
Yeah.
I mean, you'll definitely be able to see the porch from the corner through the driveway.
Yeah, if you're like that sort of person who likes to look around hedges and stick your heads in people's driveways, yeah.
I do. It's a beautiful home. I sneak peeks in there all the time. It's quite lovely. It's a very nice property.
But your house is hidden behind a giant hedge too.
Yeah. My
We digress. Are there any
Yes.
people in the audience with questions or comments, Barbara?
No,
Okay, motion to vote.
motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, me too. Very good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you.
Okay, and now I guess we have the Marcella Marathon.
Yeah.
A trifecta, right?
Yeah, trifecta, 235 Melbourne Avenue.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
All right, there's someone named Mark. I don't know who Mark is.
Mm.
No, the architect is Frank Marcella.
Yeah, I got Frank,
Okay.
but Mark's not raising his hand, so.
Hmm.
Maybe he's just in the audience. Now he's raising his hand. All right, let's find out who Mark is. But it's not taken.
Yeah, I can't take the suspense.
It's Mark. All right, Mark, are you just an audience member?
Is Mark with Frank, or is Mark wanting to comment on the previous thing? Or
Mark is probably one of my 3 clients.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
that's fine then.
Hi, good evening. My name is Frank Marcella, and I'm the architect for 235 Melbourne Avenue. Let me share screen. Is that working?
Yes.
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 Right.
Yes.
Not much to talk about the cover. So the and also the site, the house is on Melbourne Avenue. We're not doing any additions. We are doing several interior renovations. We are replacing the siding, the windows, some of the roofing that has not been replaced yet. You can see these items in red on the plans, or what's being removed. I guess there are 2 things on the exterior that are actually going to change configuration. Currently, there's 2 sets of stairs in this back corner with an entrance into this study and into the family room. We're creating just this bigger platform with sliding doors out, Trex deck, Trex steps down to the existing patio. The front porch is also being refurbished. We're replacing the columns with 8-inch AZAC columns, AZAC railing system, and again, Trex decking. And then there's this little roof overhang we're putting above the garage door. So those are really the only exterior features that are going to change the shadows on this house. A lot of the work is on the interior. There are some skylights we're replacing on the back, which you can see here. We're replacing 3 in place of 4. And let me get to the elevation. So this is the front elevation. Windows are going back where they were, with the exception, there's a little modification to this twin double hung unit. Currently has a fixed piece of glass that rides right under the rakes, sort of jammed in there. We were able to find a stock unit with a slight arc, so this would come as one unit. The other windows are basically within existing openings. The garage doors being replaced. Again, this is that little roof that we're adding above the garage door. These windows are all being replaced in existing locations. This is the new sliding door unit you see on the right side elevation. And this is the left side, which again is a window replacement. In the rear, these 3 large picture units are existing and they're in good shape. So we're going to leave those in. And we've we've also duplicated that unit we're using in the front at the rear. So it recurs here in that third floor space. Let me pull up the material. So we are re-siding the house. The second floor roof, I'm sorry, the third story roof line has been replaced. So we're basically going to match that on the 1-story appendages that have not been replaced. Let me pull up the materials. So we were going to re-side the house in a hardy plank, smooth lap siding, light mist color with 5-inch exposure. This hickory timberline shingle roof is what's existing and was replaced on the 3rd floor, which is the majority of the house, which we're replacing, again, the 1-story roof lines, the front porch, and the right side of the house. Trim boards will be replaced with a white AZAC windows. We're proposing our 400 series white clad Anderson units. So those are the materials. I could pull up the photos, which might help visualize what's going on. So this is that unit here I was talking about. You could see there's a fixed unit that was jammed right up underneath the roof line, which is definitely not original. So that'll be replaced. This railing system, these columns are going to be replaced with square columns. So that's the front. The garage door is going to get replaced. You can see the siding that's on there now. It's a very large exposure, and it's definitely showing signs of age. Here's the rear. So we're taking out this casement unit, putting 2 double hung in, which would match the front. Again, this is going to get resided. These 2 staircases will come out, and there'll be 1 platform and set of stairs down to the existing patio. This is the left side of the house, which is basically getting window replacements, siding. These are some of the neighboring properties. This is 239 Melbourne. This is to the right-hand side, 231, 229 Melbourne. Actually, this house we worked on about 10 years ago. This is 236 Melbourne, which we pretty much very similar siding and schematic to what we're proposing. These are just some of the adjacent homes. I guess I can answer any questions. Maybe I should go back to the drawings.
Okay, anybody have any questions or comments?
No.
A minor question I think you mentioned, but what's the reveal on the new siding you're putting on?
It's a 5-inch reveal.
Okay. So that'll
And the color, what's the color going to be? I'm sorry.
The color,
The siding, the new siding.
light mist. So it's a
Is that one? Yeah, kind of gray.
Let's say 5
Yeah.
inches.
very pale gray. So it'll
Okay.
work well with
Yeah.
the trim.
Yeah. And the windows are white, correct?
Right.
Yeah, that looks nice.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anything else? Anybody in the audience, Barbara?
No.
All right. Motion?
I motion.
I second.
All in
Just
favor?
say aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Don, you're good? Yvonne?
Oh, yes, I'm fine. I
Okay.
second. I said, I second. I
You
thought I
second to
said.
vote. That doesn't mean you're in favor.
Well, yeah,
You
yeah,
voted
yeah.
no.
Okay, okay.
Okay. All right. Thank
All
you
right,
very
okay.
much. And we can go on to your
Thank
next one.
you.
Great. Let me make sure I pull the right project up here.
The next one is 1015
10:15.
Constable.
Yes, actually, very similar project. We get to the site. We are adding a deck to the rear. This house actually has a walkout basement, so this would be an elevated deck on the rear. This property actually has, you can see with the outline of the site, Constable runs front and rear on this property as it wraps around there. So, we're very conscious of the design of the deck being, it is something you will see from the street on the rear street side. So the deck is new. This house will also receive new windows, new siding, new roofing, and an entry portico as well. There is an existing patio that's down at grade. So we start the plans with the basement, but it's basically a ground level, so you can walk right out to the lawn. So we very carefully placed the columns and so that they worked with the interior of the basement. This is a masonry wall, and we're replacing these sliders. And all the windows that you see in plan will be replaced. We did make a few modifications. Obviously, we have to get doors to get out onto this deck. And the entry stairs and platform are existing. We just placing a covered roof line basically over the front door. And similar to Melbourne, a small little roof over the garage doors, which be easier to see in elevation. So this is the front elevation. This is the roof line that we're proposing over the double garage doors. We will replace the doors. They are existing openings. This is an existing bay. We are replacing the windows. There's the portico. This is the existing brick base on the house. These units you see on the left-hand side will be replaced. You can see a piece of the deck and the staircase in the distance. And this is the right side elevation. Again, the windows are getting replaced. Siding is being replaced. We are proposing 8-inch corner boards as well on this house. And this is an existing peak that's in the living space currently. We're adding this door unit, and I've centered the staircase off the deck on this existing roof line. Sort of carefully try to use these masonry openings and position the deck so that your vision is clear when you're exiting the basement. This railing system, which when I get to the materials, you'll see is a cable rail with a prefabricated post. Columns are also new on the lower level. Let me get to materials. The right job, yes. So we're also looking at a light mist 5-inch exposure. Oh, I'm sorry. I opened
This is Anita Lane.
That's the
right?
wrong job.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
we
knew I was
already
gonna
know
do it.
now.
I knew I felt like a waiter that brought out the wrong meal.
We're sharp, we're sharp.
So again, 5-inch exposure, but we're proposing the Nantucket Maybach shingle. So these are real cedar. They come with a factory paint dipped finish on them. We use these quite a bit. So this is the gray seal color of the siding. We were proposing a pewter gray timberline shingle for the roof. The standing seam roofing over the garage door, which would complement, we thought of just jazzing, using a standing seam roofing there. Trim boards, corner boards, fascias, soffits are proposed in white. And so are the windows, which are casement units that we're putting throughout the house. But there is a divided light pattern that you'd see in the elevations. This is the proposed decking material for the rear. And that's the railing system. So it's a composite top rail post cap with a cable system. I believe there's 6 cables, maybe more. No more than 4 inches apart. And let me pull up the photos so you can see what the house looks like now. The house currently has a sort of that, I think they call it that 9/11 vertical plywood board that was used years ago. You can see the existing brick base, existing 2-car garage, and we're going to add that standing seam roof line. It's a better picture.
Good. Okay, just hang on a second. So the portico is going to come out on top of that existing
Right.
stair?
That existing upper platform.
So you're not building any additional platform?
No, that's pretty well built. It's pretty substantial. We're just basically looking to enhance the front and give a little roof covering because there's not much of an overhang there at the door. But you can see the window units are basically going back in these locations. Here's the basement level on the first floor. So it's a 2-level home. There's the walkout basement, 2 masonry openings, that existing peak I was referring to that we're centering the staircase on. We're removing these projecting bays and we're putting in a door unit here and a window on the far left. That's the other side. So the roof lines, and we're just basically going to replace this material that needs replacing. These are just some of the houses in the neighborhood. This is 1025 and 12. This is directly across the street. This is and I could go back to the drawings and answer any questions that you may have.
Yes. Could I see the front elevation?
Sure.
I mean, I wanted to see the okay. So is that like a, I mean, right by the entrance? Is it like a hip roof or is it?
So it's a peaked roof, but what I've done is
Okay.
folded this little standing seam across the front to
Okay.
sort of like
Yes.
this vocabulary, but obviously smaller. So
Okay.
incorporating like the peaks and then this small little sort of
Yeah.
dirt.
Yeah. Can you, okay. So, and those are two new columns, right?
Yes, those
To
are
support the roof.
portico, which
Okay,
it's on that top platform.
right. And in this same drawing, you're removing on the left side elevation, you're removing those vents or not? I guess, yes.
I think we, we bubbled them for a reason, and it was.
Yeah, it says, actually, there's a question there too,
So
yeah,
if we,
okay.
we had an alternate to actually spray foam the roof system. So if we were to do that, we would pull them out because that wouldn't, we
Yeah,
wouldn't be ventilating, because this is basically an attic. But if we don't, we do need to leave them in. They're existing. I mean, I'd like to pull them out, but it might come down to budget, because there's not enough ventilation. If we pull them out, we need to force the ventilation out of this upper system, which is currently the way it's working now.
Can I ask a question? Oh,
Sure.
if you're done. The portico, so the gable end of that, what is that finish, that vertical treatment?
We're using just a vertical siding with the like 1/2-inch reveal.
I see. So that's just going to match like the color of the shingle?
Yes.
Okay.
This standing seam, these two will match.
I
and
understand.
this is pretty much like that sample. We did add some trim boards here that are not existing. There's sort of a double white trim board that wraps around, and the column will sit underneath it. These, sorry, not column, corner board will sit tight underneath it, and that's we're sort of doing that on this whole 1-story and trying to run that little thread around the house, because currently it's vertical siding,
right,
from brick to underside of rake. I forgot to mention we are adding this chimney shroud as well, in basically the same metal color standing seam. It'll be a little tighter the way they fabricate these, but it will have little metal fins just like that.
Yeah.
I think it's all existing, but it's kind of curious that the front and the back are faced with brick, and on the side, it just becomes this kind of random stucco.
Yeah.
I know, that's strange. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they
Stucco.
they were aware that this was a street side as well when they built the house, because typically you wouldn't even find the brick on the back. But yeah, you could see it terminates here and it starts back up here.
On the left elevation, it does more jumping around. It's,
yeah, it's stucco as well, and also around the base of the garage.
Can you put that photo from the back as well?
Sure.
Please? Oh, there you go. Oh, the brick. Yeah.
So there's the brick.
And then there's the, the
I mean,
stucco.
the thought would be to paint the stucco to match the shingle, just so you don't have a hard line there, which sort of like a. So it'll blend.
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Anybody else have any questions, comments? Anybody in the audience, Barbara?
No,
All right. Okay. Motion.
I motion.
I'll second
I
that.
second.
So go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, all in
Second.
favor?
Yes.
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 Okay, me too. All right, very good then. Okay, you're 2 for 2, Frank.
Did I quit now?
Yeah. If anybody's
No.
interested, the Yankees are down 2-0.
Oh,
Let's see, so the next project. Next project is a new two-family house.
wait, can you just stop for 1 second?
Sure.
I know there's a woman in the audience who might want to comment on this, but I can't find her when you're sharing the screen.
Oh,
I did communicate with someone, I think it was this morning via email, who was concerned about water runoff.
So why don't you just unshare your screen
yeah, for a
Just
Let
like
minute.
her in
her in.
and then share again?
Stop share.
Do you see her?
Yeah, I see her. I promoted her, but she's not moving.
Miss Logan,
This is Longo.
Miss Longo.
I don't think she has to do anything. I think I just have to do it. But I'm not going to be able to find her once she starts sharing the screen again. Mrs. Longo, are you there? Well, I've promoted her 5 times now and nothing's happening, so I don't know. I tried. Guess we'll have to figure it out later if she wants to say something.
I did, that sounds like the same person. She had reached out to me regarding concerns about stormwater. So I connected her with our stormwater engineer, who I see had reached out to her as well. I don't know if they spoke, but we'd be more than happy to, answer any questions she might have.
Yeah, well, for some reason she's not promoting, so all right, let's just go back to sharing the screen.
Okay, so currently there is a, I think it might be a 3-family house on this property. Might not be legal, but it's basically been condemned. There's nobody living in it. My client bought it with the intent to build a 2-family, completely new structure and in a new location. This is the existing property on Anita Lane. This red dash line represents where the house currently sits, so it's really jammed up and actually partially over the property line. Terrible structure, it's got several problems with it. There was no purpose to save or reuse any of it. So our design involves building a 2-family house side by side, one driveway coming in, and each unit would get a garage and an entrance off these covered patio areas. Because of the grade change that's existing, one of the units has an on-grade patio, the right-hand side unit, and the unit on the left has an elevated deck. So that's, in terms of the site, this is the building limit line. And as you can see, we're well within the setbacks. This is the existing house. It's currently a aluminum sided believe there's 3 units. There was one down here and one up and one down. And that there's an application to demolish this this structure. These are this is the house to the left, which
Can you make this a little bigger?
sure.
Very small on the screen.
Oh, it is. I don't want to do that. Zoom into. Is that better?
Yeah, I think it's a little better
Mhm.
for me, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, these photos are a little tiny too. But so this is the house to the left, which actually has a front entry door on the side yard. These are the houses across the street. This house looks, well, it's been updated. May need to, let's see, how do I? Maybe I should start with the first floor. So here's the ground level floor. Again, each unit has their 1-car garage. The building is about 59 feet wide. Come in, sort of an entry point, powder room, kitchen, little dining area, and living family room towards the rear. And the units are pretty identical. With again, the minor modification of a deck in this case, because it's of the elevation difference, and we're not regrading the property. Second floor has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms in each unit, and a nice washer and dryer conveniently on the second floor. We were, here's the front elevation. Garage doors. We're combining some more contemporary materials, standing seam roofing. We were proposing to use black casement windows with just a horizontal mullion, simple rake boards. And you can see this vertical window, which represents the stair on the inside. So there's sort of a view out. Each unit has a little covered area and standing seam as well. And then we incorporate some batten board and some horizontal hardy plank throughout. You can see the existing grade change. So there's patio and there's the deck with a cable rail system. Those are the stormwater drawings, which we can look at the materials. The roofing, again, is a mixture of standing seam, which is presented on the front in the 1-story areas. And then the remaining structure, we're using Timberline Ultra HD shingle. We did have a rendering, which you might have seen. We can just jump back to. Might be really small.
Yeah, if you could expand that.
Yeah. There's
There you
the
go.
Yeah. It's very nice looking.
it's pretty much the color scheme. We were trying to just, oops, I went too big now. Yeah, so there's the color scheme. You can see the where we use the clapboard siding, where we're using the batten board. These white columns, very simple with just a reveal at the top, simple brackets. And I think we have here's the material board. So again, a 5-inch exposure, hardy plank, where you're seeing the horizontal. This is the Boral True Exterior Board, which is a very similar product to Hardy. Hardy makes this same product, but this company, it's just a little sharper. These are a little tighter than what we're showing on our drawings. This image, we had 11 and a quarter wide. I think this image is probably closer to 8 inches. Here's the pewter gray timberline shingle roof, black Anderson 400 casement windows, which we're proposing, and the pewter gray metal standing seam roofing. So that's our material palette.
Can you go back to the rendering, please?
Sure.
Okay. So the windows, okay, the frame is, the windows are black or gray but there's a white frame around it. Right?
Yeah, we left the trim package white.
Yeah, it looks good. I think
Mhm.
it gives it life.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also have a landscape plan. We were initially, we had noticed for the planning board, but we were, I guess, dismissed from planning. But we do have a landscape plan, which is similar to what you start to see in the rendering. I mean, we're providing screening around the periphery with arborvitae, and that may be in this set. If I don't know if landscaping something the board wants to look at.
It looks very nice. I liked seeing that.
How did this site fare during the Hurricane Ida? I noticed you're quite close to the river.
That's a good question. So I did speak to the owner. They had no water issues. I think elevation, it's elevation 22. I think the 100-year storm is like right at this 21, 22 here. So it starts really climbing up 24, 26. So it's well above. And there were no issues in the existing house.
Really? I'm shocked.
It's amazing. Yeah. Well, there are many. I mean, I'm actually, my office here. I back up a little further down, and I have a basement level, no water issues either, and I've got river views behind me. Yeah, it is amazing. Some areas, because of the elevations and the depth of the stream, there are no issues.
Okay, can I ask like a comment and a question?
Sure.
So is there a reason, like, when I looked at this is being built on spec, right?
No, actually, my client, he plans on keeping one unit, and I believe a family member is moving into the other.
Okay. Can you just go to the floor plan?
Sure.
Like, I looked at this and said, like, why would I want half my house to be a garage and walk through the kitchen when I enter the house? So I was just curious, the theory behind that. Like, why you show a picture with the cars outside the garage, and why don't you just include that as part of the ground floor, make the house so much bigger?
You're saying and not have a garage?
Well, it's weird. You walk through you enter the house through the kitchen, and
Well,
then the dining room, and then the living room. It just seems odd, like, to go to all this work and then have compromise so much of your first floor to a garage, when most people many people just put their car outside.
They will. I mean, but this could, having a basement that's completely below grade. You take a young family, baby stroller, recycling pails, and it just becomes a necessity to have that rough storage space. I mean, I agree. Bicycles, I don't think anyone's going to put a car in here. But for zoning purposes, I don't think I'm allowed to say that, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it is something that we do often. where it's looked down upon if you don't have a garage.
It just seems so odd to enter the house through the kitchen and then to the dining room, and then finally to the living room. But okay, that was your design idea. I personally don't like the horizontal mullions on all the windows. I mean, I would find that very obnoxious on my own house, but I mean, I guess if you're really wedded to it, it just seems like very repetitive and not very attractive from the inside to have so many horizontal members, but I could see it over the staircase as like an accent but personally, I think it's too much. I wouldn't say no if everyone goes along with it, but I wouldn't be happy with that in my house.
Wait, can we blow that up again?
Yeah, let me.
I mean, I know what it looks like from the outside. It looks cool, but I'm just saying from the inside, they
Well,
have all
there
your
are-
windows cut horizontally.
I understand, but you're probably envisioning more like a double hung unit with like 2.5 inches of, this is a very fine, like 5/8 of an inch, they call it 3/4, but it doesn't even measure 3/4. These divided lights are very thin. And being that they're black, and actually this is a pretty good image of how, if they were white, it would distinguish themselves from the glass even more. Just
Okay.
breaks it up into smaller units, and it's a
Right.
little more contemporary, because some of the units are quite large, like this one.
Well, I guess my point is for the person who's inside, it's obnoxious, but okay. Like, it looks good from the outside, but cool, but it doesn't.
Um,
But
It
we're
doesn't
not,
bother me because it's sort of a modern version of
Yeah.
the typical, windows, right? It is.
Right, right.
In fact, they seem to be thinner than Frank, are these wood or metal?
These
Or-
are, they're wood windows, but they're cladded, Anderson clads them
Yeah, metal.
in aluminum, but
Yeah.
you can
Okay.
see that, this is a transom unit that's fused
Right.
together in the factory, but you could see these mullions are very fine. They're 3/4.
They look good to me.
To me, I
Fine.
don't mind them either. And I'm looking at my old windows with all the panels, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives it a
Yes.
little texture, and
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, if you had, maybe a water view and,
Right.
you
Right.
want it uninterrupted, but I mean, these are bedrooms, and, most cases, people are gonna have window treatment, so why not appreciate or get the best look from the exterior?
okay, I said, I'm not gonna hold up anything.
All in all, I think it's very beautifully appointed and
Yeah.
it looks good.
It's a nice car too.
Yeah, jazzy car there, right?
Cheaper cars in the garage. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions, comments? And Barbara, did we identify if there's anybody from the audience wishing to speak?
She's not raising her hand.
Okay,
Okay.
all right then. Motion? Anybody?
I motion.
Okay, I'll let Barbara call that. It was kind of a draw. All in favor?
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
I'll
Yes.
pass it.
Okay, I think everybody said aye. Yes, okay.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, very good then.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You
Thank
too,
you.
Frank.
Thanks. Take care.
Okay. Okay, and I guess that concludes the meeting. So if I could get a motion to adjourn.
I motion.
Sure, I'll second that.
Okay, everybody in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
So, all
Okay.
right, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and you can stop the recording. And for people, for all you Baseball fans, it's time to maybe